Now, coming inside of this show, a dominator of Y Combinator,
Big
a
baller.
and a baller,
Big beller. Big
big
baller. Big
baller,
beller. I'm
big
trying to make it
beller.
work. I'm trying to make it work.
Sometimes people have just called him and referred to him as Alex Baller because he is a knower of ball, a
Fair.
helper of merchants, a scaler of revenue on SMS up and to the right and beyond. I will say too, made me look like so mega smart as a marketer, especially, I mean, actually in many places, especially though at Bruce Bolt, made me look like an absolute genius. And we must bring him inside of the show. New CEO at the one and only Postscript, the one and only Alex Beller. Let's bring him inside of the show. Welcome. Get in here, Alex.
Let's go.
Get in here. Look at that.
Look at the stash. Look at the stash.
There's my boys.
Wow.
Whoa.
That thing is glorious.
Wow.
Look at that stash.
Thank you.
Wow. Very Wyatt Earp of you.
Yeah, little handles right there.
Yeah. It's creeping out. Look,
Just enough.
it's great to see you guys. Our ambassadors, our .dev representatives. I like seeing you guys on the road. Is that great? Can I just give that comment? I like seeing you guys out there on the road. There's something about it.
Right?
Let's go.
I am a proponent of being out on the road. Not to throw anybody under the bus, but I have offered up many opportunities for us to be on the road a little more. And somebody, I can't say who it is. I'm pointing the wrong way. Somebody,
pointing the wrong way.
Somebody has been, negging somebody. Hey, we got to stay focused.
Hey,
got to stay
Colin's locked in. He's a homebody. He knows what's required. Right.
I will say sometimes I overestimate what can be accomplished. And I feel like it's very, very grounding and helpful. Now, Alex, I have seen some news as of late.
Let's go.
Yes.
Sir, you are the new CEO at Postscript. That this is the case. It made me wonder, did you murder Adam? Did you chunk him? What happened?
He's gone.
What's going on over there?
This is the right question. This is exactly the right question.
We haven't seen Adam. We don't know. We don't know where he is.
We don't know. Have you guys seen that meme and that story where Dick Costolo, who was CEO of Twitter for a long time, now Postscript investor Dick Costolo, when he joined Twitter as COO back in the day, the first thing he tweeted was like excited to start as CEO of Twitter today. Step number 1, undermine CEO and take over. And then a year later, the CEO was ousted and he took over the role.
Oh my gosh.
It's good. It's good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Oh my god.
It's good stuff. Yes, it's official. It's true. The news is true. Adam is alive, but the news is true. Technically, the role is co. So we haven't pushed out Adam. We've just added me to the stew, right?
I love that
because what hierarchy is more clear than having 2 people in charge, right? We couldn't resist that anarchy, right? We're confusing the team. We're confusing our board members. It's perfect. It's great.
It makes me think, though. It makes me think, Alex, that there is a reason for this because the internet is changing, AI is changing, and there's been a lot of talks. We had the one and only Mike Manheimer on here, and he was talking about how Postscript is completely recreating itself for e-com of the future and growing revenue up and to the right for merchants everywhere. He thinks there has to be a good reason for all of these happenings, Alex.
There is a story here. We don't like just total chaos and randomness. There is a method here. So, you guys know this. It has been hard for SaaS the last couple of years.
Totally.
It is just a completely different landscape for technology. It's just the world has changed. It used to be that the barriers to entry in SaaS were that you needed a bunch of money to hire a bunch of engineers to build anything.
Right.
And that with each model release, that erodes and that disappears, and the barriers to entry get lowered. And that is like both a beautiful thing for like entrepreneurship, and it's a good thing for brands and for merchants. But for SaaS, it's created like a really challenging landscape, especially paired with the fact that like e-commerce has just slowed down its growth compared to, the COVID days, for example.
Yeah.
And so, us and certainly a lot of our fellow companies, the last few years has been like hard sledding. And what we're seeing these new AI native software companies come on the scene and do so much more with so much less.
Wow.
Right? These tiny little startups pop up, and they drop a marketing video on Twitter of this cool new AI use case, and they grow and they grow $0 to $100 million in like 2 years.
Wow.
And that's a wild thing, and that really didn't exist in software before like this. And so what that's led to is all this insane pressure on like what I would call a growth stage startup like Postscript, right? We're 9-figure run rate. We've got 20,000 customers, a couple hundred people. It's put a lot of pressure on us to reinvent who we are. Like what we hear from investors now is like, we might have a great quarter that we smash, but investors will be like, yeah, it's pretty good, but the AI companies we're working with are growing 4 times as fast.
Whoa.
So just like the goalposts have totally moved.
That's crazy, man.
The people are putting pressure on us saying, we're seeing teams 1/10 your size move way faster. And so even though that's created this huge pressure internally to reinvent ourselves for the AI age and to not just like go quietly into the night, because I think a lot of software businesses of the last generation are going to like slowly die over the next few years. I think this is like total aggressive reinvention moment. And so we have been really, really pushing hard, especially the last like 3 quarters. And as these tools advanced, Adam started building again.
Yeah.
Adam, who like built the first version of Postscript, Adam has been aggressively building again and spending all his time building again. And we all thought that was the right thing. We were like, okay, we need to deeply understand this tech, these models. We need like one of us, of me and him and Colin, to like be really hands-on keyboards and building new product. And it's been working, and we've been reinventing how our whole company works, really being like led by Adam's heads down focus on adopting these new tools and these new way of work. And so it showed up in like how much our engineering team ships. It showed up in the AI products we're building like Shopper, and it's shown up in like how our like sales and operations teams also operate and run. And as part of that, we were like, we need Adam to be completely myopically focused on building.
Yeah.
For some stuff that, I'm probably going to come talk to you guys about in like a month when we launch it.
Whoa.
And then we got some shit coming. And then
we got stuff coming out. Yeah.
We got some major shit coming. And so then it was like, all right, me and Adam have always had a really close partnership. We've always done different parts of the business, but it was like, all right, if Adam's going to be heads down, then someone's got to mind the shop. So we did the baton handoff, and it's been going really well.
That's incredible, man.
Alex, this reminds me. So I'm going to say a couple of these things, and you can tell me who this reminds you of. Chris, multiple months ago, CEO locks in. He's shipping out more code than ever. He's fully dialed in.
I already know.
Fully dialed in.
I already know.
The delegation is very separate. He's owning the coding team highly. They're shipping out the most product in the entire world.
Yeah.
Who am I talking about, Chris?
It reminds me of Toby. Is who it reminds me of.
There we go.
It reminds me.
You guys are fully mirroring what Shopify is doing with how you are building this thing. You are like the way you guys have structured this now is like, I totally see Adam as Toby just locked in. Do not bother me. I'm going to ship out everything. We're going to AIify up to the gills.
Yeah.
And you are now the president, Harley, co-CEO. Let's rock and roll.
There's an interesting dynamic there, Alex.
Yeah.
Flattered by the comparison. I think there's a lot of truth to it. I think like what we've been saying is that like our problems aren't unique and our opportunity isn't unique. Like every every software company I talk to is like thinking about or going through this. And I think Shopify was very early to AI like maximalism. And I also think that the partnership that Toby and Harley have is like the one me and Adam have is very similar. So I think there's a ton of similarities to that. I also think what makes it even more similar is that businesses like ours, our growth is kind of like first derivative of Shopify's, right? Like Shopify is so representative of like what's going on in global e-commerce growth. And like, if they're growing really well, then we tend to grow well as well. Yeah. So I think there's like a bunch of parallels. There's also, you know, me and Harley are, you know, also repping the Jewish factor.
Let's go, baby.
Bringing that to the table proudly. Yes. So you know, there's a handful of similarities out there for sure.
Let's go. You just texting him on the side. Just texting him cool DMs too. You guys are just like buds now.
My boy, Harley. You know what I find interesting, Alex, and I think has as you described, got to be entirely motivating across the board inside of Postscript is to see the inner doggedness of like, hey, we're going to get back hands-on keyboard. Like you're saying, one of us, Adam, Colin, Alex, need to be hands-on keyboard and building for the coming future. And like seeing what's happened with Toby and Shopify, and now hearing what's happening on you guys' side and what may be coming in a month or so and beyond. Man, it's got to be like motivating to everybody, engineers, sales, everybody to see like, hey, top dogs are in it to win it and reinventing who we are for the coming age of e-commerce. It's going to be entirely motivating.
I think so. I hope so. I mean, I think that it shows that we're really open to like learning and reinventing, and there's no ivory tower at Postscript. But the other thing that's going on is like, we've been just putting, like, it hasn't always been this way. Like last year was tough at times, but the last 2 quarters we put up some like really big numbers. And so I think that has people fired up too. Like I just had our board meeting yesterday for Q2. So for April through June period, we just did our board meeting and we hit 170% to our new business goal. That's the like highest ever. We closed our biggest customer ever. And so there's like a bunch that I think people are energized about. What's hard though, and I empathize with this because I'm going through it, is like, it's not easy to relearn how to work.
Oh boy.
Like if you're an engineer at Postscript, or if you're a CSM at Postscript, or if you're a accounting manager at Postscript, suddenly you're being asked to like, how to figure out how to do your job in this like AI world and like use these tools that are different and changing really quickly. And like, that's not comfortable. I don't know. Like I'm not good with change. That's hard.
Yeah. No, that is hard.
You know, Alex, you said you were like, you know, our investors are talking a little bit about like AI companies are growing faster than you guys. I would consider you guys an AI company now. Like what you're doing right now with Shopper, you guys are an AI company. I think you guys are fully AI coded now. Like you guys are the AI company.
I do think that's true. I think that like, I want to give us a fair scorecard and that we like didn't start that way. But I think that a lot's changed. So yesterday, we open up the board meeting every time with like just like a little bit of an icebreaker question. Because, you know, as much as we're in it for building, we're also kind of in it for the hang. Like, you got to be. And the vibes, you guys certainly get it. And so we opened up with a question, and it's anything from like, you know, what's your plan this summer to like, you know, what's a show you're watching and liking right now, stuff like that. And yesterday I opened it up with, what is a topic that you could give a 5-minute presentation on, like with no warning, like completely unprepared. Just like, what's something that you are into and just know it can be big, it can be small, that you can just like pull out of the hat. And so they weren't giving the presentation, they're just asking for the topic. And people were saying some funny stuff. We heard everything about from like, I can give a presentation on like how fish picks their set lists. Like there's like a major like fish head on the board vibes. To someone who said that they could like geek out to how like the NBA salary cap works, all kinds of nice stuff. But someone who talked about how you could coach your kids' sports without like pulling your hair out in anger and frustration.
I like it.
But at the end of the meeting, what one of our board members said to us, he was like, you know what, guys, like I think you could give the presentation on like taking a growth stage SaaS company and like rebuilding it to be AI native. And like, we took that as super high praise because we've been grinding at that for a while. But now these 3 pillars that I've been really focused on of like how we write software that Adam has been completely reinventing and rebuilding and having us go, you know, 10 times faster. how our internal teams operate, how like revenue teams and how our internal ops teams, getting them building and plugged into these tools so they can be more efficient. And then the products we actually build and ship for the market, like all of those being focused and wrapped in AI definitely has me feeling like our identity is changing. And like just recently we like launched Ask Shopper, like which is the latest version of our product. And like I've been playing with that all day, and there's a huge shoe brand that's been using it. And I've been emailing their president back and forth about it because they use Shopper. Shopper has like hundreds of conversations on their behalf each month. And he's been in there playing with Ask Shopper, being like, what issues are people having on my site? Like what products are like sold out that they're trying to buy? Like just getting all this insane intel from conversations between the agent and their customers.
It's so
and
huge.
That has me really fired up. So I take what you're saying as like high praise. I feel like we still have a ways to go, but we're definitely learning.
Talk to me about this, Alex, because I think the story that you just mentioned here, and actually you put out a post on this recently that's like tangentially related here. This thought of using AI and its capabilities to like talk to my customers, sell more for me, brand voice appropriate, brand knowledge, all of these things. Like it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. But I think for some of the, let's call them marketers who are hands-on keyboard, there's like, oh gosh, I don't know. Like there's maybe that can't work, or to me, it seems like the hesitancy, and I know that, I mean, I've been in that seat so many times. The hesitancy may be like, well, if Shopper works so well, and there's more of these tools that come hither and thither, maybe my job's at risk at the end of the day. But at the top level, like the thought and the idea and the execs, there's got to be a lot of instant yeses. Like how do you bridge that gap and like help operators like feel comfortable with like, hey, it's going to be fine. Like get this, like watch it work, conversational data, the new oil, all these things. How do you bridge that gap?
Something I've been thinking a lot about. It's tricky because I'll tell you guys, like the conversations I'm having with executives and when I'm showing them are like the products in alpha and beta and like the products being used, and like essentially the era of automated sending is here. Okay. Like the era of someone logging into Postscript and not writing a message, but like having unique one-to-one messages going out to every single person across the whole customer journey. That's here.
Crazy.
And execs are like, like turn it on yesterday. They're like, because they're all playing with these tools. So they're like 100% makes sense. They want it to be good, but they're like they're like, this will make my team more efficient. I hate to be the one to say it, but they're saying it. And they're like, this will probably do a better job, because they understand that the idea of like segments and lists has always been a compromise in retention. It's always been a compromise. Like all retention marketing should be truly one-to-one, unique for every person. And instead we take a list of a million emails and we cut it in half. We send one thing to this half and one thing to the other. And like, that's not targeted.
That's true.
And execs know that. And so, but operators are skeptical, and it's a hard situation. The only guidance and advice that I have, and some people don't want to hear it from me, but I've been talking about it, is like the only way out is through. The only way out is through. You need to just dive in and embrace the situation, because I'm seeing the operators that work with Postscript that are like 100% in on our tools and our alphas and are pushing our brand center and pushing Shopper really hard. They're more valuable to their company than before. They might end up less busy. They might end up owning more scope than before. But if you get really good at these AI tools, hands-on keyboard with them, because they still need humans and they still need like connective tissue to the business, the leaders of these companies are going to value you more, not less. Like what leader doesn't want to have a team member or employee that's on the cutting edge? Everybody does. That's like, I think that's the only way through, because even though it's early, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I bet you every single Postscript customer will have like automated sending on for probably 90% of the messages they send out.
Wild. I completely agree with this. And to your point too, I think it's like, great, this entire section is covered. Now this operator can focus on other things in the business. It's not like There's so many million things you can do as an operator within e-commerce that this never ending list. And it's like, great. One of these lists is permanently checked off. Now I can actually focus on other stuff to build the business forward because I know this base is covered.
Let me say this too, like this concept, Alex, of a segment of one, like this is a fascinating concept.
It's so cool
to be like able to like actually work out. Like that's goated. I mean, that's like incredible. That's like the zenith of marketing, is to be able to reach each unique person in a unique way.
Totally. It's I'm ripping off Adam a little bit when I say it. He likes to say that segments are a shitty compromise, right? And like they kind of always have been, and it's been forced and it's been convenient. But like now, when you can, not only when you have the LLMs to write copy, but when you can do these like incredible machine learning studies to take a look on a subscriber by subscriber basis to understand someone's propensity to purchase and their propensity to unsubscribe and everything they've done on the site before and what they've actually told you in a shopper conversation about themselves. Like
crazy.
That gets pretty crazy. You can actually send them a targeted message.
Right.
Wild.
Alex, could you drop in and give us an example of just a crazy story that you've probably had from one of these conversational messages? Because I imagine the conversations you're having and the amount of data and insights you're pulling from this is just a treasure trove of data at this point. I would love to hear just like one unique case where something kind of unbelievable happened as you're having these automated conversations.
Yeah, I've got a great one. It's going to tickle you guys. Okay. So there's a brand that works with Postscript that sells golf simulators.
Let's go.
Like high ticket.
Okay.
And they use Shopper. And I saw the conversation afterward of Shopper consulting with a prospective buyer about the exact dimensions of the corner of their basement that they were considering like putting this golf simulator in. Going back and forth with him and giving him instructions about like how to measure and like exactly how much space he would need behind like the TV that he was describing. And so Shopper had probably like a 20-25 message conversation going back and forth. And it was just like a perfect consultation. And they sold $9,000 of like golf simulator gear. And like, there's no way that without that conversation, he would have taken the leap. There's just, there's no shot. There's a great one. Another one that's a little bit more abstracted away is there is a shoe brand that's been using Ask Shopper, the like conversational intelligence product. And in just like digging in and then paying with it and working with it, there was essentially 4,000-ish conversations over a 30-day period that subscribers were talking to the shopper agent about like the reason they were shopping was for like vacations or trips. It was like people thinking about like, it was a sandal brand. So people thinking about like getting them to go on, vacation and to go to the beach. And this brand had not like, didn't have that merchandising on site. They like, of course, know that people take sandals to the beach, but they afterward took that and they curated a like travel collection. And they like put it front and center. And now it does. Now it's like a huge traffic destination on their site. And so there's both like the macro and the micro going on here. I mean, I could go on and on, but like it's pretty cool.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Wow.
And I will say this. For operators, hands-on keyboard, etc. Doing what you are describing, and just the obstacle is the way, like go through it and get hands-on with the developing tools here and now. And even for me, specifically with Postscript, like it can make you the most valuable person in the organization because you're doing more and then you can do more with less. You have more ownership and it becomes who the shareholders immensely value. I couldn't recommend this enough. Like doing this at Bruce Bolt, like it made me an immensely valuable person in the organization. And I don't think we even had the capabilities that you have now. But I was doing what you said. I was doing what the team like advised. Like, like actually do this. I was like, I should just like actually do it. And then, anyway, I could go on, but like this is the path. Like you can't resist. You got to push and go through and go all in on it.
I really think so. I mean, I see it inside Postscript, even on the SaaS side, where like there are people who are in much more of entry-level roles, and they've taken to this stuff, and they're using the like Claude instances that we've set up, and they're using the connectors, and they're shipping work, and they're building mini apps to make their job easier. And when I think about talent, it doesn't really matter the level. I'm like even if we were to get to a point where maybe like part of their job was automated, I'd be like, well, we obviously need to keep that person. Like they're a go-getter.
Because they're cooking. Yeah.
And I think that's universal.
Wow. I absolutely love that.
Alex, man, excited about announcements and things to come.
Yes.
The recreation of Postscript for the new age.
Postscript 2.0. Postscript 2.0 is almost coming. If you guys would have me back when we make some announcements, I would love to come chop it up with you guys.
Awesome. We will do that, brother. We appreciate you making the time to join us, and we look forward to having you back, man. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, guys, and great job with the .dev coverage.